Hey
Hey
everyone,
everybody.
welcome to We
We
Used to
used to
Be
be married.
Married. It's a story about two hot ass college kids who
Broke up,
dated again,
broke up again,
got pregnant,
got married,
got divorced, but
and
we're
we're
still
still
friends.
friends.
I am Jin,
And I'm Zandy.
and we are on episode 4.
What happens after?
Yeah,
After getting divorced.
divorce,
Or at least
the big D
like
word.
filing the paperwork, or even like saying like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm
Yeah.
piecing out.
Yeah, that was a few months in between. I think there was
Well,
like,
it took
what?
a really long time for the actual divorce process because I didn't know how to file paperwork, and I used LegalZoom, and that was a waste of money. And I ended up going to the court and just going to the self-help clinic where they were like, this is how you fill out paperwork.
Mm.
It was hard, actually.
Yeah. No, I remember it being a very long process, but it was kind of, it seemed like we were going on with our lives as if the divorce was already just done.
Yeah.
In my mind, it was because I don't like
Oh,
paperwork.
really? Because you said
What did I say?
that
What?
we were still married, and I
Yeah,
technically.
technically, yes.
So, but you just said right now though that we moved
Yeah.
on as if it was already done.
Yeah, but it wasn't, was it? There can be two
Whose children
things.
are those?
I don't know. Nobody. I would hate to have kids. Never have kids. No, yes, I know I said that, but also two things can also be simultaneously occurring at the same time.
Oh,
I
so
think it's a
you're
physics thing. Yeah, so
contradictory, hypocritical. Okay, so that's fine here
no,
on this
it's just
podcast.
yeah,
All right.
it's honest,
Okay, authentic.
authentic, and I think in the moment, we say things, and sometimes it's for laughs, and other times it's for real feelings.
Which one is which on this one here? Do we
this
know?
this one is the real feelings. That was for laughs last time.
This is not sponsored by White Claw.
No, it is not. And this is another White Claw that I think you should try. It's called the Surf, and they have different flavors. The reason I stopped drinking White Claw, the original pack, is because it kind of tasted like medicine-y. But this one, the Surf blend, this one's a tropical pomelo smash. They kind of did better with the flavors. You know what I mean? It's
More
a little bit
citrusy.
more. Yeah, it tastes better.
Okay.
Uh,
Back
anyway,
to what happens after.
yes, that is the story. So I think we are traveling back to 2012. Okay. Yeah. So I guess technically.
So I started a new life in like 5 or 6 months. What did you do?
Isn't that crazy?
What did you do?
You just started a new life.
Yeah, my train of thought, my perspective was I just had cancer and I survived it, and I wanted to carpe diem, seize the day and be happy. So I had just almost died. That's how I thought about it. I survived, and I got out of a marriage that wasn't fulfilling. So why not go find life, find joy,
Through
find
marriage,
happiness.
Through marriage, the thing that didn't make you happy.
A partnership for sure. Yeah. I mean, technically, I didn't actually have a wedding. We were domestic partners, so I never actually got married.
Again, really? You didn't?
But
Okay.
I mean,
For all intents and purposes,
a dissolution of a domestic partnership is the same paperwork as a divorce.
Oh, it sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it's great.
So you just kind of entered into a situation that required the same
more paperwork.
Okay. So
I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, but at least you had a wedding. At least we had a wedding. So that's something, right?
I bought a house in my second one. Yeah, I bought a house. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good for you. What did I do? I basically kind of went on a bender. I'm still on a bender. No, I think I spent the next few months just kind of like trying to not date. I wasn't dating. I was just kind of like having physical relations, seeking physical relations and validation through physical intimacy, because I think that was kind of my go-to, like, for affection instead of true affection.
Is that your love language?
True mental health is what?
Physical touch.
No, absolutely not.
What is it? Acts of service, quality time.
Acts of service and quality time, actually, both. both of those things. Yeah, so I think I just spent the next few months kind of trying to seek validation because I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. Was I supposed to try to get you back? That was like the first thing. I
Oh
think that was the
God,
first thing.
that caused a lot of problems.
It did. It did because I was like, "Oh, wait. This is the when a in the in the movies, a man and a
Because our
woman."
marriage was so much like a movie.
Yeah. That's a really bad movie. It was yes. So yeah, that was kind of my first thing. But then,
Hmm.
obviously that didn't really work out for either of us. I
I
feel
did
like
not.
I feel like that was
It's
a
like, no, thank you.
yeah.
Still, no, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I right, and it's like you enter a different part of your life,
Yeah.
especially having a kid and being married and now divorced. It's like, well, what's next? Because in life, especially in your 20s, you think you know things and you don't, and then you go through things that you didn't expect to go through, and then you're like, well, what now? So that's kind
Hmm.
of where I was at. So anyway, I was like, what, 30, 31? Yeah, 31, going on 31. And I started dating a 21-year-old.
What was that like?
That was, confusing
Okay.
because in my mind, I'm like, we're not like, she's not that much younger. But then when you really think about it, 31 versus 21 is it's a few things that you learn in
It's a
life.
decade.
You try to think that you're still in your 20s or you're just in your late 20s and everyone's kind of the same. It's like, no, it was more of a mental and emotional validation for me, being like,
Mm.
I still got it. I'm still desirable. Um, so that was actually a pseudo relationship. That lasted like 3 or 4 months.
You also created a web series called "We Used to Be Fathers." Wait, we are fathers. We used to be. We are fathers.
All our kids are dead. Um,
That's awful.
that's the follow
That's
up.
awful.
That's the
That's
follow up.
awful.
We are fathers and we used to be fathers.
Horrible. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what is "We Are Fathers" about?
That was a 6 or 7 episode thing that lives on YouTube called We Are Fathers, and I wrote this very depressing story about a guy going through a divorce with a kid.
Wait, it wasn't autobiographical.
It was based on my
It
life.
was.
It was based on my life,
Yes.
100%. And so we wrote and produced and kind of made it more comedic and changed some details to make it more dramatic and comedic at the same time, because the thing I originally wrote was just depressing, and I was going through a thing,
Mm,
and I was like, why doesn't she love me anymore?
mm.
Why? What did I do wrong?
What did you do?
I
We
feel
don't.
like,
We won't rehash that.
listen, I think we
It's
already covered
fine.
it
We
a
did
few times.
cover that. Watch episode 3.
Yeah. So yeah, so we did that. So that was kind of cathartic, and that's what I spent the next couple years doing, and then I started dating that one very angry woman for a few years, for about 5 years. So essentially, I was also married for a while, domestic partnership. We lived together, and it didn't work out as it turns out. And going from your 20s and your 30s, and you figure some more stuff out about yourself. And I realized the partner that I ended up with after a couple of years, I was like, this is a very like unhappy person. And when I had that realization, I was like, oh my God, I'm unhappy. I
Mm,
can't do this anymore.
okay.
And my thing is, though, I don't like to break up with people. I'm not good at that. So I get it to a point where the other person breaks up with me. That way I get to be a little heartbroken and not the bad guy.
How toxic and manipulative. How toxic and manipulative.
How toxic and manipulative.
Right?
Cool,
Absolutely. Well,
cool, cool.
it is and it isn't.
Okay.
I don't actively make the other person's life miserable.
Mm,
I'm just miserable, so unfortunately that manifests itself. But I don't know. In all honesty, I don't know how to break up with someone. I think that's kind of probably an issue too.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's not that I make other people break up with me. It's just I don't know how to pull the trigger on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of my post marriage journey. Hookups, drunken nights, uh, a very young partner for a few months, then creating a web series, and then
You were on Arrested Development. You broke your femur
yeah.
right after I took you off my insurance. We
Why?
we talked about this on the other episode.
Oh yeah, yeah, we did. Oh my god, like you're sending me back.
Trauma.
Trauma.
Yeah, so that was interesting. So wait, so divorce. You started dating. I booked my first TV gig, which was huge. That my first like
You walked a red carpet with crutches.
I did. Yeah, that definitely was helped me enter a very rough period of my life to go like from a career, milestone to physical injury, not being able to work or walk for a year, and then having to take care of Max.
Or you couldn't actually take
Tried
care of
to,
Max. So I had to take
yeah,
him for a while because you weren't very mobile.
yeah.
So that made you even more depressed, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I drove for Uber for a little bit. It was a good learning experience. It was the first time where like app driving and all that stuff was a thing. So people actually like made money initially because
Yeah.
people were all excited about it. But after 3 months of having like strangers in your car, you're like,
I'm done. So I have
I'm
a question
good.
for you.
Yeah.
When did you realize, like, time to move on? I'm getting divorced, or I am actually officially divorced now. Like, I need to move on, or I have moved on. When did that, like, I am divorced kind of sink in and settle for you?
You told me that you were pregnant.
I came over to your
Yeah, yeah.
apartment.
You were like, and you like sat down and
Well,
stuff. I
because
was
I
like,
was picking up Maxwell from you. You had picked
yes.
him up from daycare, and then
Yeah.
I scooped him up afterwards. But I
Yeah.
sat sometimes and chatted with you about like TV shows and random things. And I
Hmm.
was like, also, by the way, I'm having a baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was my big moment. I was like, all I could do from that point was try to be a little bit better. Because I think up until that point, I think I was kind of making things not easy for you in your life
Oh,
department.
intentionally?
I just wanted to, you know,
Ooh,
try.
wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's news.
Yeah.
That's like brand new to me. I did not know that.
Yeah. You couldn't
Well,
feel it, huh?
I mean, I didn't know you were actively doing it.
Yeah. I think I was half-assing it, which I think a lot of the marriage too that was a lot of the issue. I was kind of half-assing. I didn't know how to fully commit to this thing that was now my life. You know what I mean? Because you just think, oh, it's just a thing. It's just another part of my life. It's like, well, no, that's to be a majority of your life, especially when you're married.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do that. Sorry.
Sorry. So yeah, lots of things happened on your end, and it wasn't very like happy for a while, right?
No, I
You were
was
pretty
not.
depressed for a while,
Huh.
and you went to therapy. How many years after we had divorced did you decide to go to therapy?
I think it was pretty much after my breakup with the
Your
angry partner.
Yeah.
4 years after, right? So yeah, I think it was like
I did not know that you characterized her that way.
yeah. Now I do. Now that I see the person, because we kind of entered our 30s, early 30s, and together. Um, and initially our relationship was more fun and whimsical, and then it became more serious. Like mid 30s. I feel like people just try to figure out what the next step is, and she didn't, and I kind of always knew what I was doing or wanted to do, and was kind of going towards that, and there was a lot of resentment there too, and it just got really to a point where I was like a lot of anger, and I was like, she likes this, she likes kind of, you know, and I saw it's like kind of a kindred spirit thing because I sometimes when there's nothing going wrong, I will create a problem just so I can have something to solve, right? That's like a I don't know what you call that, but that's kind of what I was going through, and I saw that in her, and we were not right for each other. Um, yeah, but seeing that after the fact is very interesting to be like, oh yeah,
Well, it's interesting. She's only been nice to me,
she,
So that's why I'm surprised that you would characterize her that way, or even your interactions with her.
yeah,
She's only been so kind and generous
yeah,
to me and the kids,
mm,
even now.
yeah,
So
interesting.
I'm learning new things every day.
Mm,
Um, so for me, I think we talked about this a little bit, but yeah, I went on Match.com. That was a suggestion of my coworker, And she had said that a lot of her friends and family were finding their spouses on Match.com. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's cool. I don't want to pay for it though. And I ended up paying for it.
Yeah, you
And so
did.
I was like, if I'm going to,
Sorry, it was just so easy. I was like, can't let this go. Anyway,
that White Claw.
proceed.
Um,
So you're on Match.com and
yeah. And
the paid version.
the paid version, and I said, if I'm going to pay for this, I'm going to really invest some energy into making a great profile.
Yeah.
And so worked on it, and I had one date. It was horrible. And the second date was my partner.
Wow.
Yeah, and we hit it off, and we went on like multiple dates like within the first 3 or 4 days,
Mm.
and then didn't stop seeing each other like every single day for like 6 weeks. It was a lot. It was really intense. We
Yeah.
didn't pace ourselves at all.
You know,
Fell in love really quick, like within like a week. We were like, I love you. I was like, whoa. Yeah, it was intense.
is that a
And
cultural thing?
I don't know.
Is that
It's
a?
definitely a codependent thing. And codependency is a culture in
That's
America.
true. And if it works, it works. You know, but
Yeah.
I think I'm always got weird when people were intensely devoted very quickly.
You still are. That's me.
Mm.
And I tell you about my relationship stuff sometimes, and you're like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah. But I think I'm a less reactionary that way and more like kind of I can justify why, that is or not
And
a good thing.
it's for good reason.
Yeah.
You should pace yourself.
Absolutely.
I should pace myself. And I find it very hard to do that.
Yeah.
I love really hard and intensely and really fast.
Yeah.
I have a lot of love to give. And I'm really like, I'm a romantic, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so
yeah, you guys kind of
within 1 month we moved in together because like logistically I needed a place to stay, and we were already in love, and we are like, yeah, we're committed to each other, and we found a place.
did not like that.
And you didn't like that because you're like, who is this person my son is moving in with? And immediately, like within the first week of me like moving in with him, he picked up like he was like such a big help to me. Like I was doing it on my own for 5 months or even longer because we were really just like two passing ships in the night. So we were basically single parents for most of our marriage.
Yeah.
And to have someone who was like, I want to help you, it was really refreshing and really nice to have somebody who was like, let me help you. Let me help you get him ready in the morning. Let me help you like pick him up or take him to school or all that stuff. And it was a really nice partnership and really just what I needed at that time. And it was great for, I had 8 years of a relationship with him, and there were a lot of really great moments and memories, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I got pregnant. So I met him in September, and I was pregnant by May or April. And she was born in January of 2014.
Yeah.
So we moved really fast. We had a family. It was the 4 of us, and
yeah, it was so fast at that point in time. I was just like, what the fuck? And then once you told me, oh, all right, now what?
So I'm going to answer my own question of when I knew that it was like I moved on.
Was it in our second year of marriage?
Yeah, it was like really, really soon after. It was the day that I left, I think.
Yeah.
Like I'm done.
You're like, bye.
Yeah. I mean, we tried. We fought a lot.
Yeah.
But also that is because I had until like this past year a really hard time managing my reactions to my feelings.
It's funny that you say that because I don't remember that. After all this time, I'm not like, oh yeah, she was just such a terrible person to argue with or anything. I don't get that. I think the thing I do remember the most is that there was a lot of effort and love that you put into it. And I remember just being like, I don't know
Resistant,
what to do. And yeah,
apprehensive.
Yeah. It's like, wait, I'm already married to this person. I'm just like resisting whatever's happening. That can't be healthy.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, I kind of like twisted your arm and I was like, we're getting married, right?
Yeah.
And so there's resentment from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, I guess we're getting married.
Yeah.
So don't get married. if the other person is
Is-
forcing you to.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much for
Thank
joining
you
us.
for coming to our podcast. I was pissed for a while. I was
Yeah.
like, who the F is this guy
Yeah.
coming in, trying to like white knight the situation? And
Which
I
he
wasn't
did though.
done.
He was my white knight.
Yeah,
He totally like saved me.
yeah, yeah.
And he was what I needed
Mm.
at that moment after going through cancer. We weren't a partnership. I didn't have you there for me when I needed you most, and then this person
We
showed up.
get it. I sucked.
And he showed up and he was like, I'll be there for you. That is what happened after divorce.
Yeah, yeah. Good
And it
times.
took a long time.
Mm.
We can fast forward a little bit, 8 years. It took a long time for us to come to this place where we can talk about that
Yeah.
in a healthy way and be like, I was hurt by what you did. You were hurt by what I did. And we can say, like, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we both definitely
Yeah.
have issues.
Take
and
ownership for what we did
yeah,
and our feelings.
yeah. Not just face them, but embrace them for the journey that
Yeah.
they took us on.
For sure.
And to, hopefully dismantle any sort of other issues in our friendship going forward.
Yeah.
And, be an example to our son. And
Good vibes,
yeah.
And now your eyebrows are microbladed.
Okay, you actually did bring it up. Okay, good for you. Yeah,
I'm just jealous. Okay, I'm
No,
jealous.
no,
I have
no,
to draw these in every single day.
So yeah, last couple of years I had no motivation to do anything to kind of take care of myself. So now I'm back on the like, let's take care of myself. Let's feel good. Let's look good. And
feel good, look good.
yeah,
Yes.
and vice versa. So that's my eyebrows are a little too dark right now.
So that's one thing you're still actively working on, looking good, feeling good. Is that right? I
Yeah.
also am currently working on looking good and feeling good. I started working out again in the gym at my work.
Oh.
There's a trainer there that's helping me.
Oh yay, that's great.
Slowly getting back to jujitsu. I decided I want to write more music and stop being so scared. I don't know. We'll see where that takes me.
Yeah. How's the dating life?
Up in the air right now. I'm just going to go with the flow and love
like that.
myself so much, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I can do.
Take your time and just do you.
I'm just going to love myself so much.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I can't depend on anybody else to love me the way I need to be loved.
Viewers, are you curious? I'm curious. So tune in. And maybe next episode will be about dating. Yeah, and how that's changed in the last 12 years.
Oh my God, it's get off the dating apps.
Oh.
They're horrible.
Are they?
Anyways.
I never was on them, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. Just always remember.
Yeah.
Stay positive. Love yourself. And it's
not
not
always
about you.